So in the last video, the first video here, we mostly ignored these other three tabs. We just looked at some of the basic options for getting a video started. So now I want to walk you through some of what those things do. Start by taking a look at the media tab. There's several things you can do here. The most likely thing that you'll want to do is this replicate desktop. And really what this does is it allows you to put PowerPoint in the room. So for example, if you look back at the scene tab, you'll see this screen, this presenter screen here. And if you select that tab, what you'll have is that screen will show in the room what you see on this desktop here. So you can pull up the PowerPoint on this desktop and have it presented, and the student will see then that PowerPoint on their screen as you would also see it on this screen. This is where it becomes really important that we remember which computer is which. So this screen here that you're seeing is all run by the Alienware computer, the big computer with the alien button, that the Oculus Rift is plugged into. So if you want to use a clicker to click through those PowerPoint slides, you would have to plug the clicker into that computer. Similarly, if you have a flash drive or something that you need to plug in, you would need to plug it into that computer in order to pull it up on this screen, because this screen where you're running Virtual Orator is the screen where you would need to have everything pulled up in order to properly replicate the desktop. So that is a way that you can allow students to view their PowerPoint in the classroom, and that can be really helpful. These presentation notes, if you want to have like an impromptu topic, if they're wanting to just practice without a specific speech prepared, you can have them do an impromptu speech, and what this will do basically is give them a little card, and they would hold the controllers then, the Oculus Rift controllers, and those controllers would be holding a card, an impromptu card with a random topic on it that they can speak on. Alternatively, you can try to create your own cards. This takes time. I'm not going to necessarily walk you through how to do it here. If you want to try to do that, you can figure it out. You can come talk to me. I can help you try to work through that. That is something that I've not had anybody want to do, but it is there as an option. We can also do recordings of the session. You can record just the session, or you can also have a webcam overlay with it if you wanted to do that, or the opposite direction. Again, I've not had people want to actually record this session, but you can do that as an option if you end up wanting to do that. And then there's some stuff over here. Audience speech, again, it's pretty advanced option that I don't think you'll necessarily need, but you can do pre-recorded questions that you can have asked in the middle of the session if you're trying to simulate a question and answer session. But this would take substantial time to actually set up, so I doubt that it's going to be a particularly needful option. Under the audience tab, we basically have a more advanced version of what we had in the scene tab with the difficulty, the presentation difficulty. And you have basically a bunch of different sliders for different aspects of the audience, their interest, their friendliness, their level of concentration, so forth. You can also specify the female percentage. You can also specify level of distractions. And this is not just about the audience getting distracted. This is also about room noises, things like that. People maybe looking at each other, talking to each other, basically distractions from the presenter, the student who's wearing the headset, distractions for them, if that ends up being helpful for you. With these distractions, I also want to show you, if you launch the VR session, you will see this trainer's interface come up. And I want to highlight what you have here. Oh, actually, I'm going to go back. If you have a more difficult audience, you would have more options for this. So I'm going to go back and do this again. Once the session comes up, you'll see with this interface you have a variety of things that you can do. You can have the audience have different sentiment. You can make them applaud, and you can change the length of their applause if you want to. But in here, you can also manually create distractions if you want to. You can turn on different sounds, different things in the background. You can make outside things happen. You can make phones go off. You can make people look at each other or talk to each other. And this can create distractions for your student. If you feel like their concentration is something that you're trying to work on, that can be a setting that can help you to do those things. Again, I don't find a lot of need for this, but there have been a couple of occasions where I found it helpful to help simulate some of these things. So if you find that helpful, that is an option for you to get going. Lastly, we have this Systems tab, and I really don't anticipate anything here being something that you'll need. It's really about graphics and different on and off things, height. There's just really not a lot here that you need, but it is there if you ever just really want to get into things and try to figure stuff out. But that's really some of the more advanced options that we have. And if you have questions, of course, let me know. I like to play around with this stuff. We'd love to just mess around with it, try to figure stuff out with you if you have questions.